My goodness, guys, what a day! What a day! Where to start? Um, Amazing journey over. Went so smooth. The flight was amazing. Loganair. Got my caramel wafer, my complimentary cup of tea. Uh, Hire car's amazing. This shepherd's hut is like so good. I've filmed some other videos when I arrived, just couldn't stop smiling. Just it's so there's something about these small spaces. The car's tiny as well, um, but it just feels so nice. I'll give you a little tour at the end of the video, so it's something to hold on for. But yeah, and depends on what order I kind of upload these, but because I've been filming all day, but I'm tired. I'm hungry and I'm tired because after the wafer, all I had to eat was this like fruit bowl, which was in this the the shop that I went to, the Bitcoin shop, and they were really. It was the first time they said it was the first time somebody wanted to pay by Bitcoin in oh, that's the rain on now. In 1 year, so their terminal was like turned off under the counter. We had to help, we had to get it set up back on the Wi-Fi and get everything paid. But the only thing I could find at the time that was kind of real food, healthy food, was the fruit, because they're more kind of like fast food and uh, chocolate bars and crisps and things like that I try to stay away from. But I might have to do it now. But anyway, the woman was an absolute angel, a saint. She was so patient, and she did it for me. And this is you know, this is what I'm living on. What I've spent today. The Sats, I can't remember how much it came to. Something like, must have been about £7, £8 or something. So eventually did that. That was the first place I went on the map to get things for here, and then after that I kind of ventured out and I spoke to a couple of local. There was actually two women that had a van down by the beach, and they had all their veg, fresh eggs, honey, jam, some fruit, and just like perfect, like really natural, just right there. And I explained to them that I was living off Bitcoin this week, and would they be prepared to accept Bitcoin. One of the women was lovely. She was like very, I was cautious of their time, and I wasn't wanting to, but she was listening, and she said she was a bit wary of Bitcoin because of criminals and, obviously the mainstream fear that they put into people. And the other woman was not the same. She very body language. She didn't make eye contact. She didn't want to know, and she was unfortunately the one making the decisions between the two of them. And it was just like, no, I won't take Bitcoin. And I asked, do you mind sharing why? I wasn't going to try, and I just wanted to understand her own take on it. And she didn't want to speak. So after that, I went to a cafe along the road, the Shed it's called, and I went in a lovely cafe, and there was two young girls, and I went in like, oh hey, like lovely place. Can I? Would you accept Bitcoin? Because I'm I'm living off Bitcoin this week. And the owner, who I think the guy who I assume is the owner and the manager, he basically went no and turned his back, and turned his back on me. So straight away I didn't feel very welcome. Well, it's actually hailstones. I don't know if you can hear that. Oh wow, it's going to get noisy. So I felt, it was like, took me back a lot of years, back to when I used to live in Scotland, and maybe talking to parents on the sidelines and people laugh, people just thinking what Bitcoin, trying to be really keen and help people and say, oh, you need to get into Bitcoin. And I don't even know what price it would have been then, hundreds, not even thousands, but I did try and do it, and you were kind of met with this, I don't know, half people, don't understand, half they're scared of it, half just, so it was bringing back all these kind of memories. And to be honest, like, it's the first time in a while I'm really just a bit overwhelmed. I'm obviously tired and hungry, but I'm just thinking, like, we're just not. Anyway, so after when I got back to the hut, and I sort of looked up the map again, and I thought, okay, I'll be going to be organised and be structured. I'll work from the north down, and I found the restaurant on there. I tried to phone, the number didn't work. I emailed, I didn't get a reply, and I now know why, because I've just driven up there, and where the restaurant is supposed to be, which was called Good Stuff, is now a Domino's. So I don't know what the history is there. I don't know what happened there, but the Good Stuff is no longer Good Stuff. And I'm going to try and update the map, because this is another thing. Yeah, I'll come to that later. But after that, I tried some other ones, which were way further south. Bearing in mind, I'm really hungry now. But I eventually got this kind of pizza place, which I was kind of already thinking, that sounds amazing. And I asked, because I tried to plan ahead, I said, oh, you're still open? Yeah. Do you accept Bitcoin? No. So that's another place on the map which needs to disappear. So we're down to 34 that we know of. So unfortunately, my reasons for coming here, I thought, I'm going to be living the life on the Bitcoin standard. Everybody's going to be, or it's good, looks like there's a lot happening, but so far I'm very mixed, but mainly see like a huge challenge ahead still. And it really is down to us all to try and, do our bit. I feel like Nostr and everything and the influence, like everybody's in this big echo chamber, and Bitcoin's so great and the price, and worrying about things that we're talking about how many millions of transactions we need to keep up with Visa and everything, and I'm thinking there's not even one transaction like going on. There was one Bitcoin transaction that we know of, but let's start with the basics. Let's start, education, getting the kids involved, getting businesses involved, getting the elderly people involved, do like Bitcoin walks, Bitcoin core. There's lots of things we can do to, help businesses. And I feel that's really, it's not easy, and it's almost something I think other people like me maybe, or other people in a similar position, maybe, we got almost kind of gave up on it, and we just thought, oh, we don't need, when your energy is not flowing into it, and people aren't as excited as you, or they're not, kind of wanting to change, and they don't get it, you kind of come to a point where you try looking for freedom in other ways. But when you put yourself through this, I recommend everybody to do this, to try and, set a time limit and say, right, I'm going to live off Bitcoin for this amount of time in your area, or when you're somewhere that you think you can do it, because it really shows you how far we have to come, how far we have to go. And we've not actually came that far, because really it's not working, guys. Like, I have to be honest. And if it doesn't work as money, like, it's game over. It really is, and it's hard for me to say that because I mean, that's Bitcoin is everything to me in terms of like wealth, and I believe that we need both. We need wealth and health, and we need these different pillars in order to have the security to develop yourself and to do the good things, and you need that kind of backbone and that blood and that life system, that healthy ecosystem and communities and everything. And it's clearly not happening with fiat, as we can see. We know all the problems about that, but the transition isn't happening fast enough, and Bitcoin in the meantime is being taken by all these old institutions and these things that that we're trying to get away from. We're trying to take our power and energy back in decentralized way. So really, just saying, like, my message is like, it's not easy, and that's why I haven't went to the supermarket or went to one of the lovely hotels nearby or restaurants and just went and filmed, because I want to go through this. I've said this to myself. Obviously, if I start starving after a few days, and it's not going to be possible, and I'm not making any good headway, then it doesn't make sense to keep suffering. But right now I want to remain optimistic. I'm going to go back to the place where we got the terminal set up yesterday. I'll get some sandwiches this time, some pre-made sandwiches, which is not really my thing, but well, I can. It's emergency supplies. I'll get some water, some tea, some more fruit, and yeah, they're closed. So yeah, so I'm going to head there again tomorrow. I'll take more. I'll catch up more conversation, because this woman who was really friendly, I can ask her more about the island and everything like that. So yeah, there's been like very limited success, but a lot of learning, a lot of this is what you have to do. There's no point in pretending. It looks great, all these different merchants, but I'm going to find out. I'm on the ground. When I get my energy back after this food, then I'm going to hopefully try and gently persuade some other places to accept my Bitcoin and get them on the map. So we'll increase the number on the map rather than decrease it, which is where it's going just now. But yeah, that's the truth, and that's the update. And I would love to be going to bed with a full belly and having spent more sats, but I've got my water, and tomorrow's a new day. I'm still positive, but it's a real wake-up call for how far we have to go, and everybody needs to play their part in this. Like, we all have friends, family, we all know people with businesses, we all can start businesses, we can do things to encourage the use of it and to spread it around and to really get it moving. Like, this is what we need to do. Okay, and on that note, I'm going to show you a little tour of my little hut, which is absolutely amazing. Look at this. It is so cool. So cool. And even got a little fridge, a little wine fridge here. Sorry, I'm just carrying the camera here, but yeah, it's absolutely amazing. So I'll put me in the film. Yeah, I should have done it like this. Sorry, didn't think of that. There's the toilet. It's just so I'm so happy, even though the Bitcoin thing didn't go as planned. Yeah, I'm really happy in here. It's so nice. I just love it. Absolutely love it. Okay, that's it, guys. That's the update from the Isle of Man. Not what I wanted to say, but it's the truth, and yeah, we got to live in the truth, and just keep working on it. And um, yeah, let's see how the week goes. Tomorrow is a new day. Okay, peace. Ciao.